one. Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Sammy Leggy here representing Team JVS, here to give you guys another review straight from Tribeca 2023. I had the honor of being able to go up to New York to go and check out a film called Bad Things. Bad Things is actually directed by Stewart Thorndike, and it's about a group of friends that go to a hotel for the weekend just as a getaway, and they start to find out that people do bad things. It's deeper than that. I mean, I kind of read you guys the synopsis, but the baseline of it is you got the main character that Gayle Rankin plays, and she it's kind of like her mom is kind of like the owner of this hotel, and it's kind of like she's kind of transitioning to figure out if they want to sell it, and she's just bringing her friends along. One of her friends is somebody that's her partner, and their relationship is a little testy. Their friend is there, and then also another friend of a friend that also happens to be a part of an emotional entanglement. Let's just say that. And one thing I'm gonna say this is Gayle is a beast. Gayle Rankin, she was in this movie I saw years back called The Climb, and she was amazing in that. She's been in Glow since then. She was in the show on FX called Kindred. She was very good there. I think she also was in Perry Mason as well. So she's a very good actress. And I think when I first saw this image right here, I was like, what in the world is going on? I'll say this, the opening of this, the beginning of this, it was so off. Like it was kind of like they were coming into a location and Gayle's character just has this chainsaw and she kind of like trying to cut like some woods off, and all of a sudden they kind of go and they get to the hotel. And I was kind of like, it's so off-putting that it's perfect setup for figuring out where the establishment is. And I think that also the actors and actresses in this, they play off of each other pretty well. I think they definitely got some good chemistry. I saw that Hari Neff, she to me was a big standout because with her character in conjunction with Gayle's character, it's a lot going on there, and she's doing a lot of emoting, a lot of perspective on assessment of people, and she's kind of like the hope of this. And I think that they do a really good job of connecting the dots where sometimes certain characters don't mesh. Also, the other thing about this is that there are some creepy freaking scenes in this. Definitely reminiscent of The Shining for sure. But you don't know what kind of story this is, and I still don't. Like, I talked about a movie called You'll Never Find Me, and I thought that was really good. But with this one, I don't know if this is a sci-fi horror or a psychological horror thriller. It plays the both. And I've seen the movie and I still don't know. I really have no clue. And I do like that concept that I don't know, but there are certain facts then threads that, are finite. Like there's certain things like, okay, no, like this person was here and this is what's going on here. And so I think that it makes you think in a good way. I think the issue comes in for me is that the second act to the third act transition does not work for me. I think that the characters start to set up a interesting perspective of what's going on at the hotel, who's who, and you start to kind of question people's motives and like what's going on, and like is it really a caricature situation where it's like, okay, this is really defining what's in a person's mental state, what's in their mind, what's on the heart, like, and they're just identifying it in a specific way from an artistic standpoint through the movie. But then you realize, well, maybe that might not be the case, and they transition in a completely different direction, and it makes the pacing and the movie and the progression just disjointed to the point where I feel like the ending of this movie is not it's kind of predictable, and at the same time it hurts the movie. I think that the movie could have went a completely different route, and if I kind of list the movie that I'm thinking of, it would give the premise away or a possible premise away. I just didn't like the route that the movie ended on. Like it kind of left me with the note of like, what was the purpose of set characters. Why set them up down this road for no real understanding? And I think that if you identify with their relationships, like it is a semblance of normalcy, and where people kind of drift apart based on needs and wants and traumas and whatnot. And so I think that that is refined in the story and the way the script is written. It's just, as a movie, the way that it progresses from act two to act three, it just does not, it kind of loses me in the back half. But that's not to say the acting wasn't good. I think the acting across the board with the characters were pretty good. Um, the character that I didn't get that much out of, that I wanted a little bit more, was Pereira's character. I felt like there was a lot more there, and they didn't really do anything with it. And there's also a couple other characters that kind of just feel like they were thrown to the side. And the other thing is that even though this is a rated R film, they don't really show that much violence or gore, even though you see the end result, but you don't see it. Like every single time there's a place of gore, they kind of pan away from it. And I think that if they would just leaned into it, much like the movie Flesh, I think that it'd be a very different feel for this one. I'm talking about Flesh from last year. I've actually just brought that up in a different review. But yeah, I think for the first act alone, and the intrigue and certain things and shots, like the setup is there. It just needed a more refined ending, unfortunately. But let me know what you guys think of Bad Things. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, people. Have a blessed one.
Falling off the top of the